Hello YouTube viewers, this is Steve with AZ Blade Broker again, and today I'm doing this video as a response to a very common topic on Facebook and other places about the difference between the Ganzo 753 and the Ganzo 750. Okay, so first off, yes, this is a 7533 and a 7503, last digit basically just indicating that these are coated blades. So in a Ganzo knife ending in 3 is a coated blade, 2 is a stone washed blade, 1 is a brushed finish. So anyway, and yeah, they're both the CF models, as in the carbon fiber scales. But that's not really what this video is about. This is going to talk basically about the differences in the profile and the shape of the blade in comparison, because a lot of my customers are having a hard time deciding between the two. You know, they're both really well made, you know, very similar in every way. Just some very subtle differences in the profile of the handle. The 750 having the extra finger groove, where the 753 just kind of has a nice slope to it. They both have really good ergonomics, but there are some subtle differences that might make a difference based upon what it is you want to do with the knife or what you're looking for. So let's get started in a couple things. My other videos have the weights and dimensions, but let's just look and make sure that these are as close as I think they are. Let's zoom out a little bit. 750 looks like it is 8.5 inches. Yep, pretty much 8.5. Yeah, you know, that might be a tad longer than the 7.5. No, yeah, maybe a 1/16 of an inch longer. And then the blade length on the 753 is 3 5/8. And the 750 is 3 5/8. So basically exactly the same blade lengths. Okay, let's see if they're exactly the same weight. Wait for the scale to clear, sorry about that. I think I need to change the batteries because it's getting slow. Let's do it in grams. If we're just comparing weights. 126 and 130. 130, what's going on? Why is that bouncing around? 0, 132. So 132 grams compared to 126. So 6 grams heavier. And that is the 750 is just ever so slightly heavier, 6 grams, not noticeable enough. Other subtle differences here, the lanyard hole on the 7533 is considerably larger. You'd have a hard time fishing a piece of paracord through there, but it could be done. You know, all the hardware is the same. The cutting edge profile, the 750 has a little more upward sweep, probably more of a utilitarian, maybe a skinning style knife, whereas the 753 is definitely a little sharper point, more of a stabbing, self-defense type thing, maybe even a little bit better for box cutting, that type of utilitarian use. So as far as the grip goes, I'm going to share with you what I think is the most prominent difference, and why, you know, the little subtle thing that would probably make this more of a daily user for me than this. And that's the thumb ramp. I really like knives with a good defined, well-defined thumb ramp, and this slopes up quite a bit. Not only does it slope up, but the spine actually dips down before it slopes back up, so that makes it really fit well in your hand. Gives you a very natural forward saber grip on the knife, which is how I use a knife a lot if I'm chopping up boxes or whatever, you know. So for me, the thumb ramp makes a big difference. You know, that's not to say this isn't great, you know, and I suppose that if he had never handled the two side by side, this would be just as good, you know, and this still has a little bit of a secondary finger grip or recess in the blade, but you know, there's definitely a defined difference between the two. This actually has a little bit of a dip down here going to the blade, so it's not a real natural transition. Not super noticeable, but it's got some jipping if you just, you know, want to hold it a little further forward. It still works very well either way. So anyway, that's my basic review. You can find both of these knives I have in stock. You know, at this point I do, and I try to keep them in stock, and that's on my eBay store at surplus-steve11. I'm also going to be adding to my inventory a couple of variations of this knife with different G10 type handles and different blade coatings, you know, probably the stone washed version of it, as well as the black, the green, maybe the orange. I'm not a big fan of orange G10, but you know, if there's a call for it, I'll stock it. Okay, so check me out. Comments below in the comment section. Thank you so much.